airport is a general aviation airport. The airport mainly serves corporate activity. And right now, we are one of three primary general aviation airports in the Atlanta metropolitan area. Well, number one, it's an airport that again serves a lot of the corporations in the Atlanta metropolitan area. And in terms of its contribution, the last study, economic study, was done in 2012 by the Georgia Department of Transportation. And back then, this airport contributed about $159 million, okay, which is a nice chunk of change for a general aviation airport. The main role and what we're trying to do is we do realize that between now and 2050, the population of Atlanta and the surrounding area is going to probably grow about 30%, and employment will probably grow about 22%. So we are making plans to make sure that this airport is well equipped for that increase. Number one, when I applied for this job, when I found out what the mission was, I was very excited about what their plan was. Meaning this, number one, starting on July 20th, the airport is going to go through a runway rehab project. Okay, so they're going to basically mill out the asphalt and replace it. So we're basically going to have a brand new runway. That's number one. Number two, starting on July 22nd, we are going to start constructing an aircraft rescue and firefighting facility. Now, just to kind of educate you a little bit, as a corporate airport, a general aviation airport that serves a lot of corporations love the fact of how if they're going to be based here or if they're going to be flying in, they feel a lot more comfortable if they're flying into an airport that has an aircraft rescue and firefighting facility. So not only are we going to have that type of facility, but the type of equipment that we're going to have will be considered to be Index B equipment. And what I mean by that is you have Index A through Index E. Okay, Index E would be like a Hartsfield airport. Index B equipment, that means that we have the necessary equipment in place where we could basically put out any type of fire or any type of emergency for any large corporate jet. And with that Index B equipment, it will handle anything well beyond what can come to this airport. So we will be more than well equipped to handle any kind of emergency. That's number one. And then number two is starting sometime later on this summer, we're going to start constructing a customs facility. So if any airplanes are coming in from overseas, rather than having to go to like Atlanta Hartsfield for customs, they can come right here. So it's one-stop shopping. So with those two entities being in place, probably a year from now, we feel we're going to attract a lot more corporate activity to this airport. Every day is very challenging because every day there are different things that come up. It could be not so much an emergency, but there could be a security issue that I have to take care of. Being how, again, we're starting all these construction projects, there are things that come up where people need access to different parts of the airport, or we need to have meetings in preparation for these projects. And then just basically putting out fires. And what I mean by that is things always come up at an airport. So I'm one minute I could be on the phone, next minute I could be at a meeting, next minute I'm on an airfield somewhere.
Or filming an interview.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it, and that's one reason why I like my role as an airport manager, because every day is exciting. Safety is the number one priority at an airport, and that's the number one objective that everybody should think about. Safety, security, but also just making sure that the airport follows federal, state, and local regulations. And as long as you use that as a basic premise for trying to do a decent job or a good job at the airport, as long as those three entities are in place on a daily basis, the role as an airport manager are pretty good. The most challenging part is being able to shift gears. Because like I mentioned before, I could be in a meeting one day, or for an hour, or for a minute, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call and I have to rush somewhere else. So being able to constantly shift gears, and as you shift gears and going from one issue to the next, being able to have enough knowledge and enough experience to know how to handle these situations as they pop up. So you have to really think on your toes, and at the same time, when you're thinking about trying to solve problems, you have to also realize that you have to go by rules and regulations in order to make the airport safe. Well, that really comes down to the individuals that work for me having pride in what they do and have respect for their job. Because as long as they have that respect for what they do, they realize that on any given time, on any given day, they can come in contact with somebody in the public. So they have to understand and be ready to be very personal and very friendly, but at the same time being professional. And that's whether it's me as the airport manager, or one of my maintenance people, or my administrative coordinator. We all basically have the same philosophy. The first time I became interested in aviation was my dad. He worked for United Technologies, and he was a printed circuit designer. So every other weekend, or every other week, he would bring a bi-weekly publication home. And inside that publication were always pictures of like military airplanes or commercial airplanes. So that really started making me think about wanting to go into aviation. What really sold me on aviation was the fact of how my sister, my mom, and I were going to Kennedy Airport to pick up my brother and my father that were coming back from Orlando, Florida. And doing so, I saw a 747 take off. So when I saw that, I was hooked. And by that time, I believe I was 11 years old. So basically from 11 on was when I wanted to get into aviation. Well, if you're interested in the field of aviation, you may want to consider going to my alma mater, which is Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, which is considered to be the Harvard of aviation. It's a great school. They have all different types of programs for somebody that's interested in aviation. But if you decide not to go that route, there are still some other aviation schools in the country that are good. And you may also want to consider going into the military as a way. I mean, that's a way where, especially if you want to be a pilot, you're talking about a free education in terms of learning how to fly. So. National Aviation Day means to me it's a way for this airport and me to give back to people that might be interested in aviation, but then also teach them about aviation. And in doing so, through the course of that day, if somebody is in aviation, they may have a better understanding of exactly what part of aviation they want to go into. So that is what I'm hoping to achieve during National Aviation Day. If you're interested in aviation, please come out to the airport. A lot of people think that when they come to an airport that everything is very secluded or off limits. That is not the case. There are a lot of places you can go in the airport where you can sit down and watch airplanes. But even if you want to stop by and say hello to me, please feel free. We're open and we love to have you come and check out FTY.